everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Callie, and I'm going to be a first-year, first-grade teacher in the fall of 2020. For my first video, I am going to be talking about the process that I went through in order to get my first teaching position, which started all the way back in January when I applied for my first teaching position. So like I said, I applied in January, and I did not hear back from the district until February, and they offered me an interview, and this was before the whole corona thing started going on, so I actually had the chance to go in for an in-person interview, and this was located 30 minutes away from where I'm going to be living. I believe the job interview was for a second, third, and fifth grade position. They had 3 positions open, and I go in for the interview, and I thought it went amazing. I leave the interview, and I don't hear back from them for over a week. So once it hit over a week, I started to get nervous, and I decided to email the principal and just said, thank you so much again for taking time to interview me. If you happen to know when you're going to make a decision by, please let me know. The next day, I got an email back, and she had stated that they had already filled the positions with experienced teachers, which, as a first-year teacher, breaks your heart almost, because you want to get into the classroom and start gaining that experience, because a lot of districts won't hire new teachers. So that started to discourage me a lot. But after that, I went and applied to, I believe, 5 districts around me. And this is when the whole corona thing started happening, and I wasn't getting any interviews, but a lot of other people I went to college with were posting that they started getting these teaching positions. So in my head, I'm thinking, why are they getting jobs, but I'm not even getting an interview? So that was hard. But then I ended up getting a phone call, and it was from a district that wanted to interview me for a 5th grade science position. If you know me, I have always wanted to be in the younger grades, like 1st or 2nd, maybe 3rd grade. So when I was offered an interview for a 5th grade science position, I almost didn't want to take it. But I've always been told, take every single interview that you're offered, because it will just give you experience. So I'm really, really glad that I went on this interview, because out of all of the Zoom interviews I had, this was my absolute favorite one. The principal and everyone on the call was just so nice, and when I would answer a question, they would ask me more questions related to my answer. They always wanted to know more, where the previous interview I had been on, I would answer a question and they would just move on to the next. So I felt like they really wanted to know about me and my teaching style, and they just made me feel really comfortable. So once that interview was completed, they had told me that they would let me know in approximately 2 to 3 days. Over the course of those 2 to 3 days, I had a Zoom interview, or a Zoom meeting with one of my professors through my college. And on this Zoom call, she had a guest speaker, and he was actually had a lot of connections with HR, principals, and other teachers in this particular district. And he had stated, if any of you are interested in a job in this district, after this Zoom meeting, shoot me an email, and I will get you in contact with HR. So I immediately emailed him after the Zoom interview and said that I was interested in a position through that district. He emailed me back and just asked more information, like if I have an endorsement, what grade levels I would like to teach, so on and so forth. So I emailed him back, and within maybe 2 hours, I got offered an interview for a 3rd grade position. So I was patiently awaiting for this 3rd grade interview to happen. And during that time, while I was waiting, I got a phone call from the 5th grade position that I interviewed for, the 5th grade science one, stating that I did not get the job. But the principal liked me so much and thought that I would fit in with the district really well that he went ahead and sent my information over to the elementary school principal and told her that she should interview me for a 1st and 2nd grade position. So I ended up getting a call the next day offering me another interview. So at this point in time, I had 2 Zoom interviews lined up. The interview that came first was the one through the district that the guy had connections with. So I went on that interview, and I thought it went really well. And turns out it did, because the next day I got a call and they were offering me a 3rd grade position. I asked them if I could take approximately 3 days to make a decision because I had this other interview lined up. So it was kind of awkward because I didn't want to accept the position right away, not knowing if I was going to be offered another job, you know? So I kind of held off on this job and just was asking for more time to think about it while I was waiting for this interview to happen, if that makes sense. Well, they needed to find out sooner, so I ended up having to accept this third grade position before I even had this interview. So I was kind of torn. I had accepted a job, but I was also interviewing for another school district that I really, really liked. So go on this interview, next day, don't get it. So I already accepted a third grade position, and I was happy with that. So for about 3 days or so, in my head, I was thinking I'm a third grade teacher. But then I get a call from the principal, and they had told me that there was actually someone in the district or at the school that was a first grade teacher that was going to be moving to a different position. And so she had given me the option, do you want to be a third grade teacher or a first grade teacher? And I had student taught in first grade and been in clinicals in first grade, don't really have a lot of experience with third. So I jumped on that idea and said, I want to take that first grade position. And she said, congratulations, you're now a first grade teacher. So there's a lot that went into this. I had 1 in-person interview and 3 Zoom interviews when I had applied to 5+ districts. So some advice I would have for anyone that's still doing the job search, just keep applying and keep staying hopeful. With this whole Corona thing going on, a lot of districts are pushing off their hiring process until July, which I've heard from a lot of people, and I know a lot of teachers that are looking for jobs right now are stressed and don't know if they're gonna have a position in the fall. And I'm just so thankful that I was offered a position and that I have the opportunity to have my own classroom. So if you're still in the process of interviewing and applying, I'm praying for you and hoping for the best. And I know that you're going to get that position, so just keep staying positive and you will be a teacher, don't you worry. So I hope this video wasn't too all over the place. I feel like it kind of was, but I don't know. It was my first video, so hopefully I'll get better at this. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more if you want to follow along on my first year of teaching journey, because it's going to be interesting, we should say. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Bye.